Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I'll show you a game played by Platon and Myhajlo. And the game starts with the pawn to d4, knight f6, knight f3, b6, e3. And here you have the idea, and this is a critical path that the pawn will try to play from e2 to e3, then to e4 and e5 and attacking the knight. So after this, e6 was played and bishop to d3, then bishop to b7, then the white castling and bishop to e7, prepare for castling. And this is the first 5 move, and you can see that both are slightly equal, or maybe the white is slightly better a bit, as 2 pieces of the knight and bishop is in this 16 square. So after this, the knight b to d2, then c5 from the black, and now e4, and c takes the pawn, then e5 attacking the knight, then the knight move to d5 to the center of the square. So this is a color square, and the knight will have many activity in the center. So the knight takes the pawn back, and now the knight to c6 develop another knight, and now the knight capture and the pawn capture. So this is the first 10 move, and still you can see that white is better in this position. So after this, queen to g4, and here you have the idea to attack the pawn, and also you can have the knight come out. Then if the king castling, then the bishop, you're able to go here and attack the pawn, and you have the mating idea. So queen to c7, and maybe the black trying to go for a queen side castling, because and giving up the pawn. So in the actual game, the white take the pawn, and then the black castling queen side, and now the rook will try to attack to g7, attack the queen and attack the g2, and here you can push the pawn, and the bishop will attack directly to the pawn. So the black trying to move the king to the queen side and have the king side attack, as the white is in the king side. So and give up another pawn. So now the queen just take the pawn, then the king move to b8 to move away. If you capture, then giving up another pawn. So in the actual game, the queen just capture the pawn, and after this, the pieces for the attack. And the first move the black do is to play a knight to f4, and here the knight is attacking the queen, and also can go attack the bishop, and the rook is attack the bishop as well. So if you pawn capture back, then the black will win 1 pawn in the action. So therefore the white play a queen to g4, attacking the knight, and after this the knight just capture the bishop, and now the pawn capture, and after this position the rook h to g8 and attack the queen, and also able to attack the pawn at g2, and now again will push the pawn, and here the bishop will direct attack the pawn. So the black will have many activity to attack the white. So after this, the queen back to e2, and now c5 was played, and now the white will have the bishop attack the pawn, and also the rook attack the pawn. So it's a very strong threat, and the black is attacking the pawn that protect the king. And after this position, it's very important to make the correct move, such as you can just push the pawn to g3, and this structure is very hard for the black to attack. Or you may also push the f3 pawn, and it's also stay on the course that the black is very hard to attack the pawn. So in the actual game, after this move, the black played a knight to f3, and this causes the black is clearly winning in this position. So after this position, the black play queen to c6, and here the queen play queen to e4, and preparing for the exchange. Instead, the black do not want to go for the exchange, and the black move to queen e6, and using the bishop to attack the queen, and also attack the knight, and also attack the pawn. And after this position, the white move queen to e3, and after this position, the black is checkmate the white and mate in 6. I give a couple of seconds to figure out how the black idea to move and checkmate the king. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer. And for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the brilliant sacrifice that the black played. In the actual game, after this queen to e3, the black played a rook takes g2 and sacrifice. And after this is a winning. So in the actual game, the white moved king to h1, and then the black continue to play with the queen h3 and preparing to capture the pawn and checkmate, or the rook capture and checkmate as well, and the rook will go to rook g8. So after this, the white play e6, and then the rook takes h2 check, and now the knight cannot capture the rook because it's being pinned by the bishop. And after this, king to g1, then you have rook to g2 checkmate. So back to the position after the king takes the rook, and if you take with the king, then the queen will just go to g4 and continue to check. And now if the king back to h1, then the rook will just prepare to go for g8, and the queen go to g1 and g2 and checkmate. So rook to g8, and if you use the rook to block the queen to go to g2, then the queen will just capture the rook and checkmate, as the knight again still cannot capture because it's being pinned. So after rook to g2, you have nothing much you can do, and if you move the king to h1, then the queen will move to h3 again. And if you're trying to use the queen to f4 and protect the pawn. Then the black, you just capture the knight and minimize the protection. And also now you have the open check as well. So after this, if you move the pawn to check, to delete the check, then you just block with the rook. And now the knight, the queen just capture, and you just capture with the bishop. And after this, you just block with the bishop. Then you just have the rook to g3 and open check. And the rook is control the g file. And you have the open checkmate. And with this, thank you.